Well, it's an education to watch you work. You're more thoughtful than I expected, given the tales. Guess it comes from practice and need, seeing through to the nub of a thing.
If you do not catch the detail in a moment, the moment will catch you.
Oh, I get it, I do. It is a novelty, though, to have a sheriff who can genuinely cogitate. We've done our share of legwork tonight, that's certain. You want to work the notes, both high and low?
Sophia is interesting. So attached to her ghoul. It is not usual.
Sophia's always been scatterbrained. Used to hang around with my sire. Maybe my bloodline rubs off on some. I like her, though. Reminds me of more innocent times. And we both love getting our fangs into a good puzzle.
There is something in this which disturbs me. The ghoul, Piotr. What was he to her?
There's two ways to read this riddle. Either she truly liked him, or he knew something she didn't want to lose. Not that it'd surprise me, given the tales I've heard of Tremere. I wonder which it is.
I now know more about how Katsumi and the Anarchs operate in Seattle.
You do? A little that even opened my eyes. I'd not known her arrangement with Benny. Caught between court and rabble and has been for a while. Seems to be steering the course for the best. And owes you a favor, which is not a thing to be sniffed at.
Katsumi and Ryong are cut from the same cloth. Both wish to rule this city, even if Katsumi will not admit it.
To rule or to stay afloat? It could be said of both, though I think Ryong's got a bigger boat.
Helping to feed Lou was not something I expected when I woke up.
Some might call it a come down, but there's a passel of weight in being a waiter. Folks treat you as furniture, and no one cares what shares here.
Nyx now has a chance to show that she can make a name for herself in this city. Whether she does or not is entirely up to her.
There's sink or swim, then there's doggy paddling with a shark. But I've seen stranger successes.
It is good to discuss these things. But it is time to rest.
Sleep well then, Fire. Let's hope for a day without dreams.
Well, hello there, buddy. I did what you said. I woke up.
They set their feet upon the sod. Their lips split parched, their belly dry. Sweet succulence upon the vine, a sovereign full specified.
That's nice and all, but I have questions. Can you tell me your name?
Do I take you from your time, truth seeker? Do I interrupt your sleep?
I'm more interested in who you are.
They say trouble comes in pairs, detective.
That's a truth.
They say trouble comes in pairs.
They say trouble comes in pairs, and here I was with the first shoe in front of me, waiting for the other to drop. And let me tell you, this one was tight-laced and had a vicious tongue.
A deep sleeper? A goddamn deep sleeper? It is 8 o'clock at night and I've been standing out here for an hour. Well, I'm sorry to interrupt your me time, Mr. Detective, but someone wants to kill me and no one seems to care.
Now, you'll find I'm a caring sort when I've time to get up to speed.
So why don't you settle down and tell me your problem, Miss,
Verona. It's just Verona. And calm right down. I find a goddamn death threat in my purse and this freaky looking sword thing. And you want me calm?
Huh. Now that is interesting. A death threat and a decoration. Might I see them, Miss Verona?
That's why they sent me to you. I showed the officer at the desk. He said you'd help. Look, I went out last night with the girls, went through my purse for my keys this morning, and there they were. The letter, the cross thing, weren't there last night, and honest, this has got me shook up, Detective. Real shook up.
Oh, then you just let old Fabian take a look-see. See what shakes out. Now this was familiar. Oh, my notes on the possibility of a golem under the Aurora Bridge. I should really get to that sometime. Hello there, my little parchment pal. You got words to spill?
I am a death threat detective. That is my sole purpose, and all that you will get from me.
That's quite a perfume you have there. Tangy, bitter, late nights and morning regrets.
Now, listen. I had to endure degradations to bear my message, you know. Dragged through smoke-filled dens, spattered with malt beer. Ugh.
Huh. So Miss Verona picked you up in a bar, then?
How dare you? Yeah, I mean, yes, I suppose so.
Good quality paper, but I see a few marks.
The finest thick cardstock as befits my role as a harbinger of doom. A few marks, I'll grant you, but I was folded very carefully. But then, alas, unceremoniously crammed into a purse filled with whatever junk the youngsters feel a need to carry. Not to mention the clear imprint I endured from the metal ornament that was my companion in travel.
The Cross of St. James. Pandora and cigarettes, sure, but he's still scratching at the armor of my think tank trying to get in.
Might I hazard a guess, Detective? Was there not a case back when you were young? The gutter press called it the Rebar Killer.
Now, so there was. But that was a long time ago. That case is cold as a corpse. Or I thought it was. Many thanks, loquacious letter. I'll talk to my boss, Benny. See if something is getting reheated.
Of course, Detective. Remember that one should always put one's stock in the paperwork.
Now that's a truth. The SPD do love to fill their filing cabinets. I should rattle a few drawers too, see if any old bones fall out. Nice choice of font and layout. A little fancy?
Why, yes. The seriousness of a matter is often best conveyed by a touch of formality. Just to make it clear, there'll be no messing around. And you see, I come from a quality printer. No smudging of ink or any little black lines. Which is, of course, the minimum standard in a well-phrased ultimatum.
Ha! Of course. Well, thank you, mysterious missive. I gotta blow the dust off the Rebar Killer case and grill our girl about her favorite hangouts. Message received and understood. The Rebar Killer. I'd heard that name many, many years before. If I remembered it right, in our world, he was Santiago, a hunter of kindred. What did that have to do with Verona? I wondered if Verona had Seattle PD, full of drunks. I wondered if Verona had remembered anything else from her big night out. Seattle. The folks would have stashed Verona in interrogation. I figured I should visit, since I did have questions for her.
Any news, Detective? You've caught him, right?
The law takes its sweet time, Miss Verona, but it makes the dessert all the sweeter. From the letter, I deduce you were in a bar last night, right?
Well, I did say I was out with the girls. Being honest, it's kind of a blur. But if you're gonna tell me I wrote the letter myself, I will not believe you.
Oh, I'm certain you couldn't do that, even sober. Some of these words are multisyllabic.
Well, exactly. But anyway, we had fun. We hit up a few places, the usual, you know. Oh God, I didn't text any of the girls to let them know I got home. And I'm out of charge. Now I know there's a killer, but I need to go.
These friends of yours, are they the same ones who let a stranger violate the inner sanctum of your purse? Trust me, you are much better off here. And remember, our coffee is free of charge.
Well, all right, fine. At least you have Wi-Fi.
So I'm told. Plus, this frees me to focus on locating your tormentor and putting him safely behind bars. Strong, unbendable iron bars, which he is unlikely to be able to use in any kind of murder attempt.
What?
Never mind. Do you recall which dens of dissolution you visited? Bar chits, bills, outstanding tabs?
Why, Detective? Do I look like a girl who has to pay for her own drinks? Let me think. There were a couple of dives, but we were trying to get into the fancy places too. I guess we started off at the Glacier for cocktails, but I think we were gonna try and get into the Macomb later. We heard it's real exclusive. Like they don't even have a list. The bouncer knows you by sight.
Until later, Miss Verona.
Seattle PD, full of drunks, bums, and deadbeats. And then there's the criminals, of course. Seattle PD, full of drunks, bums, and dead.
What's cooking, Charlie?
So good, Fabio.
I do believe you're my vintage.
Drink another drop. So good, Fabio.
Oh, I needed that. Thank you. Take care, Blair.
Night, Mr. Bright.
I had an agreement with Bob. He would ignore all my requests and I'd never ask him for anything. I'd do my own research. I found that asking the cabinets real nicely would make all the difference.
Well, if it isn't my favorite Flatfoot, I knew you'd crawl back to me.
Hey, Philomena, you got me. I never can resist a well-packed set of suspension files.
So what is it today, Detective? A little dalliance with my dispatches? A thumb through my probation log?
Looking to heat up an old cold one. Know anything about the rebar killer?
Why, Detective, I did not expect someone to rattle my drawers so thoroughly this early in the evening.
Oh, you know I always try to be gentle. What have you got?
You'll have to forgive me. It's a little dusty around my fundament. But I do have a little something. Now that is interesting. Someone's been here before you. Oh, sure, there are news clippings, side notes, dockets and warrants, all marked for your man. All in 1925. But the main case file, that's been lifted. Frankly, I feel violated.
What have you got on the killer without the case file?
A skeleton in my cupboard. The bones of a Storian. The flesh is missing. A series of mob hits in early 1925. Turf war, the funny papers call it. A clear out of local persons of interest to the police, and to those who serve hooch by the gallon. Same MO every time. Cold construction steel through the heart and a swift chop to the neck. A 5-week sensation of slaughter, and then it all dries up in a record heat wave and a crackdown on bootlegging. No one ever found the heads. Huh.
Anything that screams Bean Illuminati?
It's been quiet on that front. Too quiet. You do say they're always watching.
Well, they are always wide awake and a bit jittery. Got anything new on the ghost ferries?
Now, we do have a letter here from one Captain Salty, alleging that the spectral boats are military. He says here there's an underwater base deep under Puget Sound. Enemy scientists are running aquatic time travel experiments. Apparently, it's a prelude to the Second Canadian invasion. He claims the first one already happened.
I guess he got something right. Any word on D.B. Cooper?
The usual. A fresh note from Mr. Sator filed under unverified tips. This one says, Cooper's true objective was not the money, but a small, insignificant briefcase stowed in the cargo hold. The briefcase contained technology vital to the timeline's integrity. At precisely 8:13 p.m., a portal opened, allowing Cooper to slip into the future. The light turbulence was merely a side effect.
If only they knew. I'll see you later.
Oh, Detective, you just use me. You never even stay for breakfast.
How's life in the tank, Frank?
Sing a lullaby.
Believe me, buddy, you don't want to hear my singing voice. Hey, Orville? Orson? Oliver Cromwell? You remember anything yet?
Out for walking. Little mother snuggin', hug a bug in a rug.
Folks call me peculiar, but you? Oh, you are on a whole new angle, Angelo.
Mother, kiss, goodnight. Just full of belly lemony moss.
And a great big lemony moss to you, fella.
Farewell, Marcel.
Lemony moss, buzz.
You doing okay, Rick?
Detective gone.
Oh, that just sounds painful. Though I hear they can do a lot with prosthetics these days. I'm a little short a pint or two.
Yes, make another hole of bliss, a head hole with a little kiss.
Anyone ever tell you you got a real kick? See you soon, Boone.
See Fabius, say hi to Miss Mommy.
I went down to the Dutch. Cold night. I decided to visit a few places Verona might have stumbled out of. Down to the Dutchman for a word. I went down to the Dutchman for a word with Silky and...
Fabian, you old bloodhound. What can I do for the pride of the PD?
I was hoping you were in a talkative mood. It's about a girl.
Isn't it always? The young stay young, the old grow old, and somehow it always comes down to the heart.
She was here, so I'm told. Last night?
Listen, my friend, you know the rules. All sorts of people pass through. I don't ask their business, they don't ask mine. I mean, is this court orders or a masquerade breach? Lay it out for me.
She's in danger, Silky. She got a death threat. Very nicely calligraphed.
A normal Seattle night, then. But this is the safest place anyone could be. You know that if you know anything.
Just bend a little, Oak Tree. Is the girl here? Name of Verona.
Fair Verona, huh? You sound rattled by this scene, buddy. I don't know the name. Why are you asking? If this isn't court or a breach of the mask. A hobby? A bird you've taken under your wing? Because there won't be trouble here, saint or sinner. Send her over if you want her to have a safe night out. But no who did what questions answered for you or for anyone. Not unless it's real kindred business.
I know it, I respect it, but this matters. I'll find a way to prove it.
Sure. I'll see you later, buddy.
Verona remembered the Macon bar. Beer was...
Supposed to get clients.
having a cold one, maybe. Can you spare a moment for a few questions?
SPD, right? Yeah, go ahead. Quieter tonight. Not like last night. Man, that was a mess.
I'm tracking down some partygoers as it happens. A group of young ladies. One of them was given an unwanted gift by a none-too-friendly admirer. Ring any bells?
Son of a bitch, I knew it. There was this one guy hanging out by the pool table. He was kind of creeping on a group of girls, watching but never getting too close. The boss said he tried to warn him off, but this guy was hopped up on something real intense, scary. Boss called me for backup, but by that time the guy had gone.
Thanks. That's useful. Beer was cheap at the hole in the wall. The piano was more out of tune than Herbert Hoover, and probably as old. I used to like these things back in the day. Nowadays, it's press a button, put your hands over your ears. Blip, bloop, bleep, bloop, blop. Never did get it. I did once win $100 from a one-armed bandit, but he died soon after. The hole in the wall needed a few dark corners. Younger kindred did like spaces to brood. Good view of where Verona was sitting from here. So, tell me, Pockets, you see anything last night?
Could be any bar in any city, but you stroll right into mine, Detective.
There was a guy spent some time around you. Kind of a creep. You remember anything?
Now, how would I remember? Scores on the chalkboard are my only way of keeping a tally. Unless you're talking beer, sweat, and tears, Detective. This rough green holds its share of history, as I'm sure you know.
That's a fact. Talk to me of beer, sweat, and tears, Pockets.
Oh, must you only focus on my flaws? It's hardly fair.
Oh, they ain't flaws. It's the little wrinkles that make you beautiful, and the memories they hold. For example, last night.
Well, I blush to say it, but my current perfume is that of day-old spilled beer. That and something else. Just a touch of dirt and fresh concrete.
That whiff of fresh concrete. It's faint, but...
Oh, darn it. I reckon I've got something on my leg. Some varmint has smeared me with dirt, Detective. Soil, concrete, and just a touch of
steel and plastic and the heady aroma of porta potty. Our target came from a building site. But which one? Oh, now wait. I'll lay odds it was the Westenra construction site. Not too far and inhabited by anarchs, ghouls, and other lowlifes. Thanks, Pockets. Reckon I'll go digging.
I'd say don't get into any fistfights, Detective. But honestly, I don't think you have the balls.
Verona said she'd been to the glacier. Verona remembered the Macon bar, and I was sure they would. I headed down to the old Westenra Corp headquarters. Verona said she'd been to. Verona remembered the Macon bar, and I was sure they would remember her. I headed down to the old Westenra Corp headquarters. I went down to the Dutchman for a word with Silky and to find my boss. I headed down to the old Westenra Corp headquarters. There was that same scent of concrete Pockets had talked about.
I thought about it. I didn't see the point in confusing things. Huh. Guess someone was using gas to keep the lights on.
I moved to Seattle to get away from
The place reeked, and it reeked of ghoul. A ghoul. So our stalker had a picture of Verona. Maybe that'd get Silky to open up.
I went down to the dump.
here. I don't. Please.
Is that the light of hope in your eyes, Detective? You got something for me, right?
It's been a long night, and I've worn down the shoe leather. My feet took me to the haven of a ghoul. And said ghoul had a photograph of my Verona. He was charged with delivering a death threat to her by his master. Here, take a look-see.
A ghoul now. I wonder whose blood he was sipping. But you're right. This is our kind of trouble. The girl here, I have seen. She was in here last night. Said drinks were on her. That she'd come into money. She decided to make a life change and pawned something that was chaining her down.
Pawned?
Left a ticket stub as a tip. Worthless to me, but maybe useful to you?
Well now, that is what we call in the trade a lead. My thanks, Socrates.
The pawn ticket. I figured I should follow that lead to a pawn shop. Bracing Verona about it directly was less likely to get rid. I had a question to ask Nico about Verona and her newfound wealth. Adults. This little guy reminded me that I'd met a lot of suckers in my time. They said a cat may look at a king, but when it came to princes, I wouldn't advise it. You could go through 9 lives in surprisingly quick order. Nico helped me find knickknacks for my office. Knickknacks with history.
Friend Fabian, what brings you to my door? I've had nothing coming to your taste. Just rings of old marriages, necklaces of old mistresses. Junk, you know how it is. discarded memories.
How's business?
The festive season approaches. At this time, I receive old gifts so my clients can buy new ones. Renting a moment of happiness. This year, more deposits than purchases. An air of desperation.
I'm looking for a memory. Came in last night?
Everyone here trades memories for dollars. You know that. What was it? Or who?
It netted her enough to have a night out. Paid her bar tab. Here, I have a ticket. You know this one?
Ah, yes. That one. She was burdened on the way in and floated her way out.
Here.
Ah, that's right. A locket. One moment.
Progress. I don't know what prompted Miss Verona to sell, but this might give me answers.
Miss Verona? That was not the name she gave me. Ravenna, if I have it right.
Now, what is she playing at?
I hope in some way the item brings you joy. Even if it's the joy of detection, huh?
Did she say why she pawned the locket?
Oh, you learn not to ask such things. There is usually sadness or anger down those roads, and to be honest, I did not want to share in hers.
Hope the Christmas trade picks up.
Have a good night, my friend.
I wonder...
Next time, I'll
Well, look who crawled out of their pit. What happened to the alarm clock Smithy got you?
It was a mite overzealous. I traded it to a buddy for an Everly Brothers single and a 1978 World Almanac.
Of course you did. You need something?
Any hot precinct gossip?
Your boss is in a good mood.
That is news. Any idea what's ringing Benny's bell?
Who can say? Maybe a kitten died or an orphanage burned down.
What's spinning, Wheeler?
You need new material, buddy. Nothing much, though. Fender benders, drunks, and me catching up on my backlog.
Season 3 of High School Detective?
Yeah. Just got to where Tammy has a run-in with the study buddies. Hell of a plot twist.
Stay safe, George.
Don't freeze.
You found something, right?
I'm looking into avenues, Miss Verona. Avenues and alleyways. The Dutchman didn't strike me as your kind of place, but I was wrong. You were definitely imbibing there, loudly and copiously.
Wow, we made it to the Dutchman? I must have been out of it. We never go there. Way too sketchy for me and the girls. All that leather and denim, you know?
Much to my shame, I do know. You made it to the hole in the wall.
We did? Oh, guess we did.
Playing pool. They tell me a shady character was observing you from the sidelines.
Oh, yeah. Real sour face, that one. I told him where to stick it.
I imagine that you did. I found this locket of yours at a pawn shop. Sold to the broker under a false name.
Oh, that's not mine.
Does the name Ravenna mean anything to you?
What? No, it doesn't. Not anymore. And I'll thank you to keep your suspicions to yourself.
It's my job to have suspicions, and you asked for my help.
It doesn't matter. Just keep your nose out of it. I don't need your help. Not anymore.
Something told me she wasn't going to be so talkative, which was a blessing, but meant I'd hit dead end on the case. I didn't think that was worth the effort. Apologies.
Any news, Detective? You've caught him, right?
The law takes its sweet time, Miss Verona, but it makes the dessert all the sweeter. I found this locket of yours at a pawn shop, sold to the broker under a false name.
Oh, that's not mine.
I'm trying to catch a killer here. Bear it in mind and throw me a bone.
So do you think the threat is real?
I have no doubt. This killer is real and could strike at any moment. Granted, it's a mite less likely here in PDHQ, though it is still a possibility. But hey, we won't charge you rent.
If it's real, well, I guess I need to tell you. The locket isn't mine. It belongs to my sister. My ex-sister, Ravenna. Check the photo inside. That's me and her. She, used to be my twinnie. But she's dead to me. You gotta understand that.
She passed away.
Oh no, we just don't get on. She's gone kind of weird. How's the locket fit in? Does that mean she's in danger?
Everything is connected, miss. It's simply a matter of degree. Try asking Mr. Bacon sometime. If you don't know him, someone will. So, where can I find this twinnie, this Ravenna?
Heck, I don't know. We haven't talked in half a year. Last I heard, she was working at Atrium. That's why I never go there.
I see. Maybe your messenger didn't have a name for his intended recipient. Only a photograph, and a poor one at that. This'll get complicated. A visit to the atrium and its mistress takes my comfort thoroughly out of its zone. I'm told she doesn't like the cut of my jib. Between you and me, I don't even own a jib. But as for your situation, I believe you've simply been the victim of a failure in postal delivery, Miss Verona, as so often happens. The case is solved. Your sister is the one in peril. Hopefully I can make it to the atrium before it's too late. As soon as I heard... Get in here? Official business?
Private party. No exceptions. If you're not on the list, my hands are tied.
Tell Miss Moore it's me.
No.
You sound like a guy who got decaf instead of a double shot. Would you be home to a fistful of extra dollars?
I work for Isabella Moore. You can't afford to launder your coat. Lovely to see you again, sir. Long session today?
Got the whole album in the can, actually. No bust-ups, no dramas, just laying down some real smooth licks, you know?
I didn't realize you played... Oh. I have to apologize, sir. I have confused you for someone else. I don't believe you're on the list.
I don't suppose you could sneak me in the back? No? Oh, never mind.
Lovely to see you again, sir. Long session today?
Same old. These things are always a grind.
So I hear, sir. But it's important work. I'd like you to know that I appreciate it, and you can always rely on my support.
Aw, bouncing is important work too.
Bouncing? Right. Small things, sir. I've just realized that you definitely are not on our list. Apologies.
Oh, that's a shame.
Lovely to see you again, sir. Long session today?
Same old. These things are always a grind.
So I hear, sir. But it's important work. I'd like you to know that I appreciate it, and you can always rely on my support.
Thank you, citizen. Always good to know the public are behind me. Might I go in?
Of course. Enjoy your evening, Senator.
Oh, I intend to.